Welcome to the October 16th, 2020 meeting of the Knox County Board of Assessment Review. The meeting will come to order. This is a public proceeding, and unless the board specifically goes into executive session, you have the right to hear everything that is being said and to look at all of the exhibits that are offered. Please notify the chair if you are unable to hear or to see. The board expects that this hearing and the subsequent deliberation will take no longer than 2 hours in total. The board works from a prepared agenda. There is one item on today's agenda: the hearing of the appeal of Francis J. Coleman and Cindy A. Gagnon to this board of the denial of their appeal to the assessor of the town of Camden in the matter of the assessment of their property at 39 Stonehurst Drive, map 225, lot 36. Any person wishing to address the board may do so in accordance with the following procedures. The board will initially confirm with the applicant and the assessor the original and current assessed value of the property and the requested additional abatement amount. The board will then open the public hearing and ask the appellants to present their case briefly and concisely. The board has studied the submitted material, so please just present your points and your proof of them. The board expects this part of the hearing to take no longer than 15 minutes. The board members will then have an opportunity to ask questions of the appellants, and the assessor will have an opportunity to ask questions of the appellants. The board will then ask the assessor to present his case briefly and concisely, presenting his points and proof of them. The board expects this part of the hearing to take no longer than 15 minutes. The board members will then have an opportunity to ask questions of the assessor, and the appellants will have an opportunity to ask questions of the assessor. When there's no further testimony from either side, the board will then close the public hearing and deliberate and make a decision on the abatement appeal. Following a decision on the appeal, toward the end of the meeting, or at a subsequent meeting shortly hereafter, the board will prepare a written decision that will be mailed to the applicant within 10 days of the board's vote. The board may receive any oral or documentary evidence, but such evidence is restricted to the subject matter of the agenda item. The board has studied the submissions of the parties. The board shall exclude irrelevant, immaterial, or unduly repetitious evidence. Citizens shall refrain from interrupting other speakers. This meeting is being electronically recorded, and it is difficult to hear what is being said when multiple people speak at the same time. Citizens shall avoid all personalities and conduct themselves in a civil, courteous manner expected of all meeting participants. I might mention at this point that there was some problem with the last hearing we had, that some of the sound was not recorded well on the recording. So if you could make a point of speaking up so that you're really projecting from the very depths of your abdomen, please do. Speakers should address questions through the chair. Speakers shall not attempt to engage in debate with other meeting participants. Any questions? Yes?
I forgot a writing tool, and I'm seeing some over there. I'm wondering if I can borrow a pen or a pencil.
Absolutely.
Just
Sure.
represent these.
Tom, I think Marion has us back.
Good.
Okay.
I swipe pens from all of this places.
Never mind. Never mind, we're good.
There's always another one. All right. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
Madam Chairperson, I have a motion to make at some point as a procedural matter before evidence is introduced. It's a pretty short one.
You're talking about it wasn't 10%?
I would make a motion to dismiss as a matter of law.
We'll deal with that, don't worry about it.
Alrighty, thank you.
It's already in the list of things to be dealt with.
If you address that now, you would preclude the time it would take for evidence, because you would simply, as we do in court, grant a motion to dismiss the valuation portion based on the applicant's own statement.
Thank you. Okay, no other questions? Let us move to the first agenda item in the abatement appeal of Francis J. Coleman and Cindy A. Gagnon on their property at 39 Stonehurst Drive, Camden, tax map 225, Lot 36. Anyone wishing to testify in this matter, please stand, raise your right hand, repeat after me. I swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Thank you very much. You may be seated. Let us first confirm the ownership of the parcel. Francis J. Pullman and Cindy A. Gagnon are the owners, correct?
Yes?
Thank you. Let us next confirm the assessed value of the property and the requested abatement amount. The board is of the understanding that the committed land value was $91,800. Before the abatement of $17,200, the committed value of the buildings was $354,900. The total assessed value at commitment was $446,700. Is this correct?
That is correct.
Thank you. According to the application, the assessment of the land is $91,800. The current assessment of the buildings is $337,700. Total assessment is $729,500. Is the assessor in agreement with these figures?
Isn't it 400?
That's incorrect.
Chairman?
Pardon?
That's incorrect.
429,000.
What did I say?
700.
Oh, my goodness. Increased your assessment, I'm sorry.
I mean, you're looking at the
okay.
owner's opinion of value, correct?
Pardon?
Were you just speaking about the owner's opinion of value?
No, I'm not speaking of that.
Okay.
I am speaking of the valuation after the abatement, the first,
Yep.
when the abatement request went to the assessor gave a partial abatement, but
Right.
did not cover the rest of the stuff that she wanted. Okay, so we've got total assessment of $429,500 currently.
Right, Carrie did confirm that the current value, well, before the abatement was $429,500.
No, I've got.
That's after?
After the,
Okay, so I'm just looking at the.
Before the abatement, it was
application.
$446,700. After the abatement, which was $17,200, the assessment is $429,500.
That's correct.
Okay, so according to the application, the owner's opinion of current value is land, $91,800, building, $312,400, for a total of $404,200. Are we good with that?
That's my understanding.
Okay.
If you could speak instead of shake your head,
Yes.
because we're recording.
Yeah, we're recording. Okay, so the abatement requested is $25,300 plus $17,002, which was granted in the original because this is the same abatement request that was submitted for the same tax year of 2019, which I presume is, okay, tax year for, I should not presume. Tax year for the, which the abatement is requested is April 1st of 2019? Yes or no?
I have 20 on my application.
Right, this application.
That doesn't make it correct.
That's true.
Okay,
Let me look at,
when was this? We received the
Madam
abatement
Chair, you're correct.
request
It has
in
a-
March.
As
So,
of April 1st, 2019.
April 1st, 2019, okay. All right, I don't know what you call it for a fiscal
Well,
year.
The tax year is 2020, so that's where the confusion comes in.
Okay, yeah, it's called the fiscal year 2020, but it's April 1st of 19 by state law.
Correct.
Gotcha. Okay. So the abatement requested is a total of $42,500, even though some of it was already granted, which is a 10.51% difference from the original assessment. So we are hearing the case. The appellant is citing that the judgment of the assessor was irrational or so unreasonable in light of the circumstances that the property is substantially overvalued and an injustice results, and there was an unjust discrimination.
Madam,
Yes, ma'am.
I believe that the difference in valuation is 5.89%. That's after the abatement.
Yeah,
And with all respect to the application, I believe that this is within the standards. And I'll make a motion to dismiss this case as being not necessary, as the valuation is within 10%
Second that.
of the valuation.
Okay, any discussion?
I think by law it's allowed.
Say that again, Tim?
By statute, you're allowed to be within 10%, correct? And if this is coming in
Yeah.
at 5.89.
Well, after the abatement.
After the
My
partial
point
abatement.
of accepting this case in the, just a minute, please. When we get these cases, Wendy sends them to me and says, I need to rule whether or not we should hear this.
Mhm.
What I saw was one case which was appealing the assessment as of April 1st of 2019. And then part of it was granted, but the appellant was not satisfied with with the 17,200 that had been given, and wanted to further appeal the same appeal.
So, but
that
this
had been.
application,
Wait.
if I can, this
Let
application.
me correct that, because that's wrong. The original abatement wasn't for that whole amount. We were, Cindy came to us and said that the data was wrong. No abatement was filed. We made that correction before any abatement was filed. She didn't make a formal abatement request. She pointed out that the data was wrong. We corrected it and did issue an abatement, but no abatement was applied for. That was assessor initiated.
I think you outlined that in your response, yeah.
Right, so there was no formal abatement application until after that activity happened.
Okay, Cindy?
The reason for that was because it took me a while to understand and do the analysis, to understand what was going on. So the 17 was abated because that was clearly a mistake. But I was talking about the whole amount initially. So I'm a little confused by the point he's trying to make. It wasn't two separate things. I said this is too high, and then we discovered in that part of it there's some errors on the car. So that was done, and then my analysis continued. I gave him one of the spreadsheets that day, the day he abated or agreed to abate the 17, and he said, well, I need to study this more for the balance of it. That's how that happened. It's all on the first meeting.
The abatement application states an assessed value of $429,500. And an abatement requested of $25,300 down to $404,200. There was
Okay,
no.
are you reading the
I'm
appeal
reading.
to this,
Knox County
to the
Board.
town, or are you reading the appeal to the?
To us.
To the board?
To you.
Okay,
Which-
so by
which-
that time it would have been.
Well,
Can you find the appeal to the town, because I've got it in this file, and you can probably find it easier.
I will try.
I have it.
Oh, we all have it.
Okay, and the appeal to the town, what was
It's
the
the same.
value stated? of
Assessed
the-
valuation of real estate, $429,500. Abatement requested in real estate valuation, $25,300. That was the abatement to the town, same as the abatement request to you.
That's right.
Okay,
And so it's not the 42,500 that you
Okay.
spoke of.
all righty. Any other comments on this? Yes, Cindy?
So I'm really confused about, because I talked with two people at this property tax division in Maine.
Madam Chair, we'll object to that as being hearsay.
Okay. I have emails, but that's okay. I'll move on. And was referred to Bulletin 10. And it talks about similarly situated, which takes you outside of the 10% rule based on my reading of it. And that's what this is all about, is whether I'm similarly situated. It has nothing to do with the 10% rule. So that seems to be not being addressed here.
Madam Chairman,
Tom.
I would point out that your use, the use of similarly situated in the appeal is an incorrect definition of similarly situated. Similarly situated means that your property is similarly situated with respect to a group of properties and therefore should be consistent with those. It doesn't mean it in the sense that you're using it throughout this appeal.
Can I read from Bulletin 10?
If you wish.
I mean, I know you guys are experts in this, but I'm just, so if my property is valued at 110% of market value and all others are at 110%, then I'm not overvalued. But if I'm at 110 and they're at 85, then I'm overvalued. So I showed in the analysis that 60% of my subdivision, which I looked at as a statistical sample of the town in general, 60% of those people, there was a great difference.
Madam Chairman, similarly situated means that you are assessed with respect to the type of house that you have. You are assessed with respect to your location, neighborhood. You are assessed with respect to the amount of land. So similarly situated means that you have the same kind of house against which you are being assessed. You have the same amount and location of land. You have the same construction grade of your home. That's what similarly situated means. In other words, your property is similar to other properties with respect not just to house style, but also to location, neighborhood, all these other characteristics of your property. That's what similarly situated means in law.
Okay, so when I look at my subdivision, how does that not apply? How am I not similarly situated? When I look at everybody in that subdivision, isn't that a really good statistical sample?
Madam Chair, you're getting into the substance of it.
Yes.
The board could perhaps act on its motion and we go from there. But I think it's inappropriate for there to be a dialogue before we hear evidence.
Right, I agree.
Okay, so are we ready to vote?
Would you repeat the motion that's on the floor?
Motion is to dismiss this case. It is within 10%. The abatement requested is within 10% of the assessed valuation,
Which is allowable.
which is allowed under statute.
Okay. Second?
Second, already seconded.
Yeah, it was already
Yes.
seconded, yeah.
Any other further discussion? Okay, we ready to vote? All in favor? Okay, all approved. I would like to ask a question, just since we're all here, of the assessor. Is there a real good reason why the subject property is not being assessed as modern contemporary? Why is
Madam
that?
Chair,
I don't
I'm
think
gonna
that's
have to object.
appropriate.
The board
Why
is-
do you object?
Because-
It's a simple question.
If you let me answer, I will.
All right, I'll answer.
The board has just voted to dismiss the petition. It's inappropriate to now inquire with the assessor as to facts. You've just dismissed the case.
It's not a fact, I'm just asking, is there a reason why?
I think you can ask that question outside of the board hearing.
That's
That's right.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll ask him afterwards.
I mean, if
Do we have any other business?
Do we have minutes from a previous?
we have minutes
No,
from
we
a
do
previous-
not.
Oh, they're not ready? She
They're not
emailed them
ready.
out to us.
Hmm?
She emailed them out to us, I thought.
I didn't see it.
I don't
We
recall
we
seeing it.
approved them at the last hearing.
Okay. So we don't have this last hearing.
Thank you for your time. Sorry to take
Thank
up
you.
your time, but
No, not
No,
fine.
no.
it's
Don't
an
ever be sorry.
atrocity what's happened. an atrocity. I am
Thank
undervalued,
you.
I am
Thank
overvalued
you.
by over
Thank you.
$100,000
Thank you.
because of fatal flaws
Thank you.
in his assessments.
We can't
Thank you.
attack, please, we can't have this.
I had to say that. I had to say
Thank you.
that.
Well, we'll,
Good.
have a nice day.
You can count on
Good, I'm glad.
Okay. Now,
Motion to adjourn?
thank you. Second?
Second.
In favor?
All in favor?
All in favor?
Adjournment?
Adjournment?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, 10:50. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Carrie,
I would not do that here.
personal question.
Because it's a ranch.
Have it.
No.
Have the discussion outside.
Outside of this building, exactly. We don't
Yeah.
wanna be perceived as,
Hostile.
Okay, but it's
hostile
raining.
or favoritism or anything else.
No, it's not favoritism, it's a question.
So no crystal ball is what you said for next year's budget.
No, I think we're gonna do it kind of a,
Done.
little pause around the election, I can see the activity taking around, but I think as long as the numbers